So, continuing the Terminator series, I am going to be trying to answer a long-standing question, and it's one which I got an awful lot of actually when I discussed the T-1000, which was how did the T-1000 time travel? Now, we know that the time displacement equipment, the TDE, does not allow anything which is non-organic to time travel through. It essentially just rips it apart. And this is why we see the Terminators, the T-800, etc. having a synthetic skin and a bioorganic skin. Because of this, how did the T-1000 travel through time? This has been a question so many people have posed to me because I didn't really cover it in the video. I didn't touch on it at all. And the reason is that I didn't really know. But I've looked it up. I've taken some time to kind of gather a few of the theories which were floating around, and that there are a few. And to discuss this, I'm also going to be touching on the T-Infinity, which is another series of Terminators. I'm not going to be discussing it massively, but the T-Infinity is essentially a time-traveling Terminator which stays somewhat in the time stream to protect it, to keep it safe and allow it to basically police the time stream so there's nothing that is messing up. Now, the T-Infinity does not have any organic matter, but it is able to travel through time because it has an onboard TDE, a time displacement generator, a time displacement equipment, and that is how the T-Infinity is able to travel through time. So taking that into account, the T-1000, of course, we know doesn't have that, but what if it had a small complementary time displacement field generator? That is one way that the T-1000 Terminator could travel through time. However, the best theories, or the best theories which I could find anyway, is that the T-1000 itself, through the mimetic polyalloy, is able to generate a synthetic bioelectric field. Now, this theory only works if the TDE is picking up on bioelectricity to then not rip the organic matter apart. So it's a good theory, but it does rely on the time displacement equipment analyzing and basically counteracting a bioelectric field, which we don't know. Another theory is that the T-1000, through the mimetic polyalloy structure, is actually able to simulate at a cellular level the structure of living tissue for the duration of a time displacement. Now, this particular theory, in my eyes, has a fantastic amount of credence because we know that the T-1000 can mimic humans and impersonate them to a fantastic degree. We know that, we've seen it, so there is cause to believe this from what we've seen in the films. And it can change its colour, but there's nothing to stipulate that the T-1000, when it is doing this, that it is not in fact restructuring its cells, the mimetic polyalloy cells, on that level. There's nothing to say that it doesn't do that. Of course, we know that when it does get pierced and punctured and shot, that the mimetic polyalloy shows. So that kind of flies in the face of this theory that when it does impersonate someone, that it is changing itself on a cellular level to that exact material, to that structure. But it could be that when it is shot and when we see the mimetic polyalloy come through, that actually that is a protective method, a way to ensure that it doesn't die, obviously, from bleeding out like it would if it was creating these structures in the mimetic polyalloy. So I like that theory. I like that theory a lot, and I think that holds true when we're looking at what the film represents. But again, there are some others. One particular theory which, although it's not in the film and there's no kind of history for this, there's nothing to kind of show that this would be the case, I like this theory and I think this could answer it. But one is essentially that Skynet grows a form of organic pod, essentially. So this is how the T-1000 was transported. It is housed in a organic pod, a cocoon, so to speak. And it is specifically built for the T-1000 for it to be transported through time. We know that the T-1000 is a prototype, so there's nothing to stipulate that it has that pod. There's nothing to stipulate against it. There's nothing to stipulate for it. When it is then transported through time, it then rips through the flesh pod, the organic pod that we are assuming that Skynet built for it, and then it begins its mission. Of course, there is no evidence of such a pod. It was never shown when the TDE was used to transport the T-1000, and of course the TX. But that's, again, one of those theories which has a small amount of logical sense behind it. The other one is that the TDE is able to transport mimetic polyalloy in addition to living tissue. This is a bit of an easy theory to kind of come up with and kind of push out there. It makes sense, I guess. It simply just says, yep, it can transport mimetic polyalloy, which would make sense when you're looking at the TX, but we don't know. You know, it's not clear cut. It could be that the mimetic polyalloy has a way of cancelling out what the time displacement equipment generates, the destructive field that it generates. It could be that it counteracts that with some kind of field generator. We just don't know. But those are the theories. Personally, I like the theory that the T-1000 is so unique and so vastly complex in its design that the mimetic polyalloy is in fact able to restructure itself into the exact cellular structure of what it is trying to mimic. Therefore, it comes through mimicking a human, and thus it is essentially cancelling out the TDE. I like that theory personally, but what theories do you like? Do you like the theory that the T-1000 is capable of generating a synthetic bioelectric field? Do you like that one? Do you think that one's a simple one? Do you like the theory that the TDE is simply able to transport mimetic polyalloy? Do you like the theory which I like the most, that the T-1000 is so advanced it can restructure itself exactly down to a cellular level? It is able to essentially reconstruct itself into a form of organic matter? Or do you like that Skynet basically grows a flesh cocoon for the T-1000 to transport? Or, like I stated before, the T-infinity. Do you like the theory that the T-1000 has a form of tiny onboard TDE or TDE field generator? Do you like that one? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think? What do you think about this? What are your personal theories on this? Do you have any? Because obviously this question has been thrown out there so much, and I know I haven't answered it in this video. I've thrown out theories, but there is nothing to answer because there is no clear-cut answer in the films. So that's why it is difficult to throw out there and actually give you an answer. So basically it's just a theory exploration video. But I do want to ask you guys, do you have any personal theories on this one in particular? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you have any future Terminator models that you wish me to discuss, break down, please do let me know down below in the comment section. I was looking to do a comic read-through kind of the Alien versus Predator versus Terminator for today's Terminator video, but I'm going to be saving that one for a future video. It's a graphic novel which I've got by Dark Horse. It's a fantastic graphic novel, actually. It's a really, really, really good one. It's interesting anyway, at the very least. And it does introduce a unique Terminator, which you can't really break down because there's no information, but it's an alien Terminator hybrid, which is a very, very interesting hybrid. But that's what I was going to be doing for today. But look, it's a little bit of a tease for a future video. If you have been enjoying these videos and you enjoy my content on a whole, please do consider checking out my Patreon page via the link in the description box. You can support the channel for as little as $2 a month and get access to exclusive playthroughs. And also, if you pledge $10 or more, you get access to exclusive Patreon-only live streams. Outside of that, if you don't follow me on Instagram and Twitter, please do over at Mr. H Reviews. You can find me on both of those platforms talking nonsense, posting pictures of myself, as you do on Instagram. And you can also interact with me on a more personal level. Guys, Really enjoyed this video. I hope you did too. It's a good, interesting video for me to kind of do. I do like asking these questions and exploring them, and also getting your feedback on it as well. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. I've been talking for way too long, and I've been Mr. H, and I will catch you in the next video.